Welcome in to the Eric Zane Show podcast, the daily show where I discuss news, nonsense, and my personal adventures. Hello to the audience on Twitch, where a lot of the chat is occurring. I'm also on Facebook, X, YouTube. Thank you so much for being here and checking out the show. I know we've got at least a couple new audience members who wouldn't normally check out the show. Welcome to you. Majority of my audience watches on Twitch, though. If you want to check that out on Twitch, go to twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live. I'm going to get right to it because the title was captivating enough. It has been all Kelly Cheese this week, and that isn't something that I expected to be talking about. As you know, her and I are tight. When the news broke, or when I was speculating months ago about, hey, I think there's something going on with her relationship. And then the audience of the Freeburn Hot Wings show said, hey, what's EZ talking about? They tagged her, and she was on one of those market visits, and she reached out to me and said, hey, can you please knock this off? She said a couple things that seemed I was suspicious of, but I didn't want to, be a hard ass about it. And I said, yeah, all right. That's a reasonable enough request. I'll honor that. Well, she's like working something out personally. And it then came to pass this week where she outed herself. She came out and said, look, folks, I am divorced. I am single and ready to mingle. And away we go. She talked about it just boiled down to one day, I guess. The gentleman, I guess his name is Ross. Well, I shouldn't say I guess. I know his name is Ross. I'm not trying to be an idiot about this. She said he left me. He left me and he moved out west. I'm like, what the hell? Oh, my God. Upon hearing this, I did what any good news hound would do. News hound, pot stirrer. I am the king of stirring pots. If there's a pot, I've got a wooden spoon to stick inside of it. I reached out to Ross. Got his number. It's easy to find. I said, Ross, do you have any comment about what was said? He goes, well, what was said? I go, I don't fucking know. I just heard that she said something. He's like, well, fucking find out what she said. I go, all right, I will. I think she just said that you left her. But I'll get back to you. So I went ahead. I got the audio. I go, yeah, that's what she said. She said that you left her. That's the end of that discussion. I share nothing more. I share nothing more about my exchanges with this gentleman. You have party A, you have party B. I don't, I basically let the river take me where it goes. Why am I bringing this up? Why? This is the third day in a row now. Easy, are you just trying to milk the goddamn story? No, goddamn it. I've got new information. It just so happens that my insider source at one of America's great radio stations, Mix 95.7 in Grand Rapids, Michigan, is going to be the new spot for the next hot new all-girl chit-chat radio show. You're goddamn right. I know I'm going to be tuned in. In the afternoon, you can listen to Girl Date with Kelly and Mate. Yes. So the crew just left for vacation. Our heroes on the Freeburn Hot Wings show they take time off at about this time. Well, when they come back, ladies and gentlemen, Kelly and Maitland are doing their own afternoon show debuting on Mix 95.7, and I am fucking stoked. Holy shit. What? So what this means now is we have another show to review. We will now be able to do Who Are These Kelly and Maitlands, where we will listen to their show and review it. Just like we do Who Are These Zanes with my old material that I have, the current episodes of Who Are These Free Beers, the current episodes of Who Are These Stephen Kyles. Oh my God. My review partner, Ben Glaze, is here. He says, who are these Kelly and Maitlands? Exactly, Ben Glaze. More Patreon content. Yes. And I'm here for it. Congratulations to these two. Now, now look, in all seriousness, I have talked at great length about how much I admire Kelly Cheese. All right? In a very crowded space of broadcasters, male-dominated business, to come in there and not give a fuck is a winning thing, okay? I've talked about how, despite her disability, she's a goddamn winner. What do you mean her disability? Well, she has a speech impediment called crispy R's, if you recall.
Cars. Christmas, incredible. New York, come to Oregon, come here. Temperature, algorithms, incredible. For crust, cripple.
There's also all those weird shrieks and chirps and...
That's so expensive. Yes. And I looked it up. I was like, free beer. Remember what, though? Jesus. Haven't seen it. It was a little obnoxious. That's so expensive.
Don't forget about the Kelly Cheese car alarm.
Hey, I work on a radio show. You want to have an interview? Do you want to...
Now, look, despite all of that retardation, this woman is a keeper. She's not quite Connie from Curtis, Connie and Curtis, or Connie and Fish, whatever the fuck. I love Connie. She was fantastic. Connie Kelly. I think they broke the mold when it comes to females on the radio. All right? With her. But Kelly's pretty damn good. You know how I feel about Kelly. That's why her and I are tight. Okay? We are pals. And so, being that I am in this love triangle, whether they know it or not, I am the unhammered nail in this love triangle. And I'm very supportive of all parties involved. The nice conversations I've had with that nice fellow Ross have been very, very cool. He seems like the nicest guy in the world. The conversations I had with Kelly, she's very respectful. I know she would never say anything to make me look bad. I know that. So I know she will appreciate that your old pal EZ is promoting 2 or 3 weeks before it's being announced that Girl Date with Kelly and Mate is premiering on 95.7. I wonder if anybody's losing their job soon. Who's on right now? Okay, you got Big Joe and Laura. Okay, they're doing great things. LG at work. I think I know Lauren. I remember her from Cumulus. Very nice. Carly and Duncan are on from 4:30 to 7. So are they on the chopping block? Or, wait a minute. If Lauren is on from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., and Carly and Duncan are on from 4:30 to 7, maybe they're on from like 3 to 4:30. Girl date with Kelly and mate. I like the alliteration there, the rhyming alliteration, if you will. I don't even know if it's just a rhyme or an alliteration, but sounds good to me. Girl date with Kelly and mate. It's got a ring to it. And you know that that's what they did in the board meeting. When they sat down on for the big brainstorming meeting on Mix 95.7, they said, all right, we got to start with a catchy name. What are we going to call this? And they put their heads together, and they said they came up with Girl Date with Kelly and Mate. All right. And then, well, what's your show going to be about? Well, we just let it fly. You know, we're professionals. So I expect great things out of the show. I'm excited about it. I think it'd be a good idea to get Ben Glaze on the phone right now, my review partner, about some new lifting that we have to do going forward with the premiere of Girl Date with Kelly and Mate. Bear with me here. I'm a little slow on the uptake. I kind of have senioritis, being that it's my vacation, too. Let's get Ben Glaze in here.
Hello.
Hey, Ben, it's EZ. How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Not bad. How is your day going?
It's going great. Just training the new guy to take my job.
Oh, put him on.
Oh, he's not here.
Oh, he's not?
No.
Oh, that'd be something, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so bittersweet. Tomorrow's your last day on the radio.
I believe so, yes.
Okay. There might be something happening at Cumulus. I'm still
really?
I'm still talking to my man over there about you. I mentioned to my pal over there about you and
Nice.
that you're a nice, able body who would be able to get some things done. So, and then the deal with iHeart is only a promotions thing. You'd be hanging up banners. I don't know if I don't know if you want to do that.
Yeah.
So Ben, I saw that you're like in the audience of the show on Twitch. What do you think about the big news about Girl Date with Kelly and Mate?
That's crazy, I think. But it'll be fun to review as long as we can somehow get the audio of it.
Well, I'll actually record it myself on the live stream.
Oh, okay.
I'll actually do it that way in order to get that magic. Are you kidding me?
Nice. What time are they on? Do you know? Is it like noon to 3?
I'm not sure yet. They might have to do some moving of personnel. So people,
okay.
I might be announcing that people are about to get fired, and I don't even know it.
Right.
Wouldn't that be something? Wouldn't be the first time that I've had info that I ran with.
Yeah.
I don't think me talking about this and getting ahead and announcing this is gonna. I think there's gonna be some pissed off people about this.
Probably.
Yeah. You know how it is. They like to hide that shit and and reveal it on their own time, like make a big deal about it on Freebeer and Hotwings.
Exactly.
Well, okay. I'm excited about this show, and after I get back from break, it'll probably be time to start it.
Oh yeah, I'll be. You said they're starting after they get back from vacation.
That's the information I got. Yes.
Okay.
Now I don't know the precise date or the time frame.
I'm gonna have to listen live because that first show is gonna either be. It could be a total disaster.
Oh, I'm gonna jack off.
Nice.
All right. Well, very good. Otherwise, I'm excited about the wedding coming up.
Yes. It's 2.5 weeks away, so it's getting close.
Any thought about working at Bosco's with me?
Maybe just the day that you're there.
Okay, good. All right, Ben, thank you.
Yep. Thank
See
you.
buddy. That is, yes, indeed. That is Ben Glaze. You can follow him at the Ben Glaze on X. Very sweet fellow. My review partner. Putting more on his plate. Very, very excited about this hot new show coming to Mix 95.7. Girl date with Kelly and mate. Woo! All right. Well, you know what? It's about time that they did that. I think that can be when you have two chicks doing a show. You know, I think that doesn't happen that often. And it can be a lot of fun. I know that they did that for the longest time on 105.3 with Rachel and Jackie. I think Jackie hates me now. I don't know why. Every time I say hello to her, she ignores me. So I think she hates my guts. Rachel's one of my favorite people on the planet. And I love her mom. Her mom is such a babe. Oh, my God. I remember I was walking through the parking lot at Meijer, and Rachel comes pulling up. Her and her mom. And I go, hey, what's going on? How you doing? And Mom's there. I go, hey, nice to meet you. And, you know, she's like my age. Maybe a couple years older. But she looked like she's about 38. And I text her. I go, what the fuck's up with your mom, Rachel? She goes, yeah, you should have seen what my house was like in high school. All the boys would come over to see my MILF mom. Like, well, I don't, you know, I'm just saying she's absolutely gorgeous. All right. So I was giddy to get to this podcast to announce the debut of the hot new show full of crispy R's. And I don't honestly, I usually am very honest on this show. I'm always very honest on the show. And I've said to you about how much of a talent I think she is. She's great despite the speech impediment and the disability. But Maitland is worthless. Okay. There is no ability. Nice girl, it seems like. I think she's pretty and congenial, but utterly useless near a microphone. And I know that sounds horrible and mean, and it's not like I'm doing it to be a dick. I'm just telling you the truth. This is not a quality individual I don't know what happened to broadcasting and radio that it's gotten watered down, particularly at Town Square, with the level of people that are actually speaking. Nothing to say, nothing useful, nothing poignant, nothing interesting, all boring, no sensibility. You don't give a microphone to a little girl who knows nothing about broadcasting. And I get tons of shit all the time from people about my criticisms of her, but it's fucking true. The only reason why people like her is because she's drop dead gorgeous and sweet, but she sucks. If I owned a radio station and I had to choose between drop dead gorgeous, congenial, friendly, useless on the air to a girl who got mauled by a bear with two dicks growing out of the side of her head, but she's got a great, powerful delivery and is witty and fun. I'm taking the chick with two dicks. That sounds like another show. You could have Girl Date with Kelly and Kate, followed by the chick with two dicks at nighttime. You know, that could be a show too. Hey, I'm the chick with two dicks growing out of the side of my head. Welcome to my show. So this has been I honestly, a lot of the times I've talked about Free Beer and Hot Wing Show, it's been about the who are these free beers, reviewing the shows, talking about things going on in their lives. Because, as you know, one of America's great morning radio shows, and being that I used to work there, and I review it. And Kelly, we've touched on Kelly before, but there hasn't really been other than the crispy R's and things like that. She seems remarkably wholesome. You know, kind of a hippie, I think once in a while she might smoke a little pot, but nothing major. You know, I mean, not like that's a bad thing. I mean, people smoke pot all the fucking I don't, but people smoke pot all the fucking time. Who gives a shit? And I just like the fact that she's a winner. All right? Every time she opens her mouth, she's got something interesting to say. Might not be the brightest thing, but who gives a fuck? Doesn't matter. As long as people are listening, you're only concerned about butts in the seats. And my girl brings those butts to the seats. That's why I think she would love me, frankly. Being that I am talking to Ross regularly now, we just had a conversation today. I fully expect to be speaking with her soon. Like I said, I will be in this love triangle. I fully expect to have sex with both of these people at some point. And Diana might film it and then provide her own narrative to it. And she's going to say on it, hey, the ending's not good. His dick doesn't work. All right. So I am tickled. I am excited about what is happening in the world. Today is the debate, and I can't wait. I wanted so badly to talk about the goddamn debate on the radio today. But the bosses at the radio station say, easy, stay away from politics. Like, oh, come on, man. Are you kidding me? I absolutely want to talk about that. Piano Finger Banger writes, Maitland is only on the show because Freebeer wants to take her to Pound Town. I don't believe that. I do not believe that he would have. I don't know. There have been a few moments that are like, I wouldn't have said that. But I don't believe that. He's got a very young wife. Why would he jeopardize? See, you guys always implicate people, and I'm always the last to believe it. Rebecca, who listens to them, says, LOL, yes, he does. So does. I can't even read your goddamn username. Says he does. He always creeps on her. He sure does. Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, he's made a comment or two, but I wouldn't. I think you guys are reading into this shit a little bit too much. Of course, you were dead nuts on with when your intuition was telling you there was something going on with the Corn Dog Queen and Ross. So I don't know, maybe you're onto something, but I doubt it. I mean, he's got a lovely wife. Mrs. Lutz is from what I understand, just a wonderful human being. Maureen says that Rebecca was right about Kelly's divorce. She could be right about Greg. I don't know. I mean, I know Greg pretty well. He doesn't strike me. I knew Greg pretty well. I knew him very well. Greg doesn't really operate that way unless he's gone through some type of metamorphosis. Piano Finger Banger writes, she wants him to tickle his frazzled Rocky Horror hairdo. Oh, that hair. I like how on their show, he regularly will discuss, I don't know if I'm actually going bald. I don't know what the problem. People are talking about my hair, and they're always talking about me going bald, my forehead. And I don't think my hairline's going back. Yeah, idiot. The fucking hairline is not the problem. It's the hair that you have, the way it looks. It looks like fuck. Cut your goddamn hair, you fucking tool. Even people who like you say you look like a retard. Jesus Christ. I will give you $100. That's all I have to get your hair cut. Chris says, I like the idea of sending him a King's Room barbershop gift card. Molly says, let a balding guy do his thing. All right. Well, my work is done there. Got a handful of minutes out of all this shit. Very pleased with myself so far. I was hoping to get Kyle from Dumpster company formerly known as Dumpster Divers to join us. I don't know if that's going to work, though. All right. Where are we going today? First of all, thank you to the audience on Facebook, on X, and YouTube for joining me on the show. I'm going to let you go now, though. If you could, though, follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live. I would like you to follow me on that. That would be awesome. Thank you very much for enjoying this portion of the show so far. I'm going to cut you loose, though. There you go. Megan says, is Darla snoring? I'd like to hear it if so. I don't know if you can, but hang on. I don't think you can. No. She's not snoring loud enough. Anyway. Where the fuck was I? I just lost my train of thought. Oh. X and, I'm sorry. X brought to you by Blue Frost IT. Facebook and Twitch brought to you by my friends at Irvine's Auto Repair. Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV. Follow me on those platforms as well as YouTube. That would be awesome. Follow me on Instagram. Doing my thing over there. I appreciate that. And appreciate all of you. This is the last show for a little while. On tomorrow, I will have a free show for you, taken from previous episodes of Patreon on the free platform. And Patreon will get various episodes of something to listen to while I'm away, which those shows are getting rave reviews. They are available on Patreon, patreon.com/Eric Zane. If you want to say hello, you can reach me, Shoreline or Striping. Inbox, eric@ericzaneshow.com. The open and live stream of the show brought to you by Frank Fuss, My Policy Shop Insurance. If you are thinking about life insurance, and you should be, all you need to do is reach out to Frank. The site is buyinsurancehere.com. There you fill out the information, and then Frank will reach out to you. I know some of you are like, life insurance? Why the fuck do I give a fuck about life insurance? Please allow me to put this on the front burner for you. Okay? Especially if you're a young person. Insure your life. All right? You're like, well, I'm not married. I don't have any kids. Well, yeah, I know. But still, insure your life. It's next to nothing if you're young. And that policy can be worth quite a bit. Your parents, your friends, loved one, a goddamn charity if you want, would be the benefactor. Then upon your marriage, you're protecting yourself. Protecting your loved ones by making them the benefactor. Because of Frank, I just got into a 30-year life insurance policy. Because I'm older, 53 years old, I don't pay the small amount that I paid when I was young. And once you lock that price in, it's there for the duration of the term. But I got a pretty damn good rate for my age because my health is strong. $163 a month. And I can make that happen. With that, my life is insured for $250,000 a year for the next 30 years. So if anything happens to me between last week and 83 or 30 years from last week, Pooh Bear is taken care of. The last thing that we need to have happen is Pooh Bear to struggle as she gets older with money. I can't live with that. I have her protected, and you should too. And if your kids are young, Jesus Christ, if you pull out on the road and you get greased by a truck, and you got 3 kids, your wife is she's got to now, oh Jesus, goddamn, it's a disaster. Next thing you know, you got a fucking GoFundMe. No, what you do is you get insured, and then you still do the GoFundMe. So then but you don't tell anybody about that deal. And then you just take the GoFundMe money and you redo the roof. That's all a bad idea. Buyinsurancehere.com is the website. Thank you to A&E Heating and Cooling. Joe Martinez and the crew over there working tirelessly to make sure that you are all set with your air conditioners, with your furnaces. Just had that guy, Joe Michael, reach out to me and said, hey, EZ, Joe came and helped me, man. We were in bad shape. New install, all set. A&E Heating and Cooling, 616-516-8579. Reach out today. Can't forget about Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV. If you have any car issues, they're right in the middle of Grand Rapids. 616-532-6600. That's 616-532-6600. They will help you. Early bird drop-off, late bird pickup, and they've got a series of rental cars that you get for free when you get your vehicle repaired at Irvine's. So there you go. Now I'm going to try Kyle from a company that used to advertise on the show coming up a little bit later on. But I am going to, of course, use the potty. I'll be right back. Chris says, are we still going to get the Lost Zane recordings while you're gone? Yes. They're already, I published them ahead of time. They're going to be released on each appropriate day. Amy says, I'm dropping off my Jeep on Friday at Irvine's. Thank you. Squeezing Rectums says, squeeze my donut. Okay, thanks. I appreciate that. I'll be back after this. All right. Okay. Where were we? So in Idaho, the Supreme Court, I love these Supreme Court rulings because now, I don't know how long ago it was. Remember when the Roe v. Wade was overturned? Was that last year? By the way, before I get into this, the Supreme Court should be working 51 weeks out of the year. They should be working tirelessly on cases. They only hear a finite amount of cases because of the amount of time it takes. And it seems to me that they get way too much goddamn time off. I don't know. Maybe there's something going on behind the scenes, probably, that takes up all their time. But I'd be curious as to how much time that the Supreme Court actually is actually doing their job. I've never understood why the Supreme Court has such difficulty with things that seem so obvious. The one that comes to mind is the Making a Murderer, Stephen Avery and Brendan Dassey. Now, say what you will about Stephen Avery, but Brendan Dassey, God, no one even knows what the fuck I'm talking about now. You have to watch Making a Murderer. He should be out of prison, Seriously. Executive order, pardon. When the Supreme Court ruled that they were overturning Roe v. Wade, Do you remember how it like leaked out somehow? What happened again? Not nearly as large scale of a ruling, and it was actually opposite. Yesterday, on the Supreme Court's website, it said, "News flash: Idaho emergency abortions allowed." And then you click on the article, and then you're reading it, and then all of a sudden it disappears. Some idiot posted it before it was supposed to be posted. It wasn't supposed to be posted yet. Yet some dumb fuck in the office posted the goddamn thing. So everybody, I mean, it doesn't matter. It's still there. And today they've come out with it officially. Because Idaho is one of those butt-fuck states that you cannot get an abortion. Think about that. Hospitals in Idaho that receive federal funds must allow emergency abortion care to stabilize patients. So, I mean, I don't know the circumstances that would warrant an emergency abortion. I'm sure there are examples that people know of or have happened. This is ruled by the Supreme Court, just happened today, one day after the opinion was prematurely posted. The court's unsigned decision does not address the substance of the case. Instead, while litigation of the matter continues, the justices this is from the Washington Post. The justices temporarily reinstated a lower court ruling that had allowed hospitals to perform emergency abortions without being subject to prosecution under Idaho's abortion ban. At issue is the nearly 4-decade-old Emergency Medical Treatment and Labor Act known as EMTLA, which requires certain hospitals to stabilize or transfer patients needing emergency care. Goes on and on about how this all came to be. Abortion rights groups cast the ruling as a temporary victory that ensures emergency care in Idaho for now, but does not settle the question of whether federal law preempts strict state bans, including in other states. You know, this doesn't seem like anything that's going to be solved anytime soon. I think that it's going to take a lot of undoing to make abortion a thing in any one of these states. Maureen says an ectopic pregnancy is an emergency situation. I had one. If I remember, an ectopic pregnancy means that the fertilized egg is in the fallopian tube, which is not where you need that to be. That's like blocking the highway there. It's supposed to be in the main chamber on the inside of the uterus. Am I correct in that, Ms. Maureen? She says yes. Yeah, that can kill a woman. Ectopic pregnancy frequency. I wonder if this will be something that they talk about on, what's it called? Date night with Kate and Mate. Girl date with Kate and Mate. One to 2% of pregnancies in the United States. And so 19.7 cases per 1,000 pregnancies in North America. It is the leading cause of maternal mortality in the first trimester. Yeah, that can kill a woman. The debate is tonight. It's going to be a catastrophe. All right? Now, we all know how I feel. I would love it if Trump did not win. That's what I want to happen. Anybody but Trump. It's going to have to be Joe Biden. I think I just saw a commercial with that sheriff that Miss Maureen is in love with. I forgot who sent me that. I'm going to send it to myself so that we can watch it. Shit, I'm fucking shit up. I should have had this done ahead of time. I think his name is Chris Swanson. He's the sheriff of Genesee County, Michigan. And this dude is like a rising star. He's a Democrat. And everybody loves the guy. Like when all the George Floyd shit was going down, and then all the police force, everybody hates the cops. So in all these different parts of the U.S., the cops are getting the shit kicked out of them. Well, in Genesee County, this guy, this handsome fella, Chris Swanson, he's like, no, fuck that. I'm gonna walk with these people that are marching. I'm gonna get through to these people, and he did. Everybody loves Chris Swanson. Maureen has talked many times. She has said that he makes her vajayjay pop. She is in love with that guy. It should have been stopped. Genesee County Sheriff slams Trump over January 6th in a Joe Biden ad. Let's get to the ad. Here we go. It starts with scenes from January 6th.
Fight like hell. And if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore.
It should have been stopped. That's neglect of duty. As a sheriff, it's awful to watch police officers getting attacked. That's not supporting this badge and this uniform. I have no desire to work with somebody who divides. That's not what America is, but I work with anybody who unites. That's why I'm with President Joe Biden.
I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
Oh, my God. That's powerful.
Badge and this.
Okay, now look at this dude. I think Maureen's onto something. This is a handsome man. Look at his hair. I don't know if I'd like the hair. I think he needs a little work on the hair. I think he needs the King's Room treatment. But there's something about a dude in uniform. He looks ready. He looks dignified, true, a handsome man. Wherever Maureen is sitting right now, it smells like a gator-infested swamp. Because if she's watching this, if she's at home, her kid's like, Ma, God damn it, did you make tuna? Shit, did you make salmon? It smells all gushy in here. Oh, it's just Chris Swanson. Cole says, Biden unites. None of them unite. Jimmy says, I love that smell. Look, Cole, you could say none of them unite, but you'd have to say that between Biden and Trump, Biden unites a hell of a lot more than Trump. Come on now. And that's coming from a guy who I think Trump is going to win. I want Biden to win. But he's such a derelict that I don't know if that's going to happen. Don't tell me that Trump is more of a unifier than Biden, you fucking dumbass. Chris says, I don't think either one unites at all. Oh, that's bullshit. That is such bullshit. The gays love Biden. The Mexicans love Biden. The blacks love Biden. The whites and the Jews love Biden. When I say the whites, I mean the ones that aren't the fucking butt fucks like in Ottawa County here. I agree with you. Yes, they both have a uniting capability, but very little for Trump. Biden has more. I didn't say he unifies everybody, idiot. All right. Anyway, the debate is tonight. It's going to be fantastic. It's going to be a shit show. And I expect Trump to really put some distance on Biden in this debate. I will be shocked if after this debate, Trump has anything less than a double-digit lead. Okay? Biden does not have the capability to hang with anybody. He couldn't hang with a goddamn toddler. He's terrible. He gets lost. He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. His feet should be in my hot tub. He should be relaxing. He has no business being on that stage. It's fucking abuse, in my opinion. Do I want him to win? Of course I want him to win. Will he win? Probably not. Probably not. Ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow at about this time, I should be on my way to the great state of Maine in the family truckster. I don't have much more to say than that, other than it'll be a long day. I'll probably be tired, but nothing that a few gallons of coffee can't help. Jeremy writes, to be honest, I think expectations are so low for Biden that he might win just by showing up and being coherent. That is a great, great point. You might be onto something there. Jimmy says, I hate every one of them. I want them all to stay out of my life. You don't have that choice. Wolverine Bronco says Trump can't interrupt since mics are cut off. Audience and interrupting is all he has as far as debating goes. Look, when Biden has that deer in the headlights face, which I see with my father, dude, this is not good. Biden going to get drugged up and whoop some Trump ass. Well, I hope so. Yeah, they better put some cocaine in that guy. How long to get to Maine, Eric? I think this is about an 18-hour trip. Nick adds, they need to test Biden for PEDs. They're going to shoot him up with special serums before the debate. You mean like the way they turned the guy into Captain America, Steve Rogers? A super soldier serum? Is that what you're suggesting? I think that, how there's the NFL draft? They just had it in Detroit where, they have representatives from each teams and they're hooting and hollering. They should have it. And there was like 1 million people that were watching that goddamn thing. In the area around the stage, there's like 30,000 people. That should be the setting. Okay? Gigantic stadium, and half of it Biden fans, half of it Trump fans. And it ends with a Game of Thrones style brawl. Like an actual, you ever see that opening scene in Gangs of New York? When the dead rabbits took on like the fucking Bowery Boys? What a scene. Is there a better actor than that Daniel Day-Lewis? I don't know that there is. I think he just kind of got out of the game. His last film might have been There Will Be Blood. What a movie. Holy shit. Got to see that. He's what they describe as a method actor. So from when they start work, he's the character. So if on set you're going to get a snack and he's there getting ready to get some mac and cheese. He's playing the part of Bill the Butcher. He's in character. He's taking a leak. He's in character. That's called a method actor, which that's fucking nuts to me. I mean, that shows me that a method actor, though great, is mentally ill. If you can't just get into the role when they say action and then get out of it when they say cut, there's something wrong with you. Let the ends justify the means, though. He makes great movies. Tophus says something that I'm out of the loop on, but maybe some of you will be able to relate to. Homelander from The Boys is a method actor. Anthony Starr is turning into Homelander. That all sounds like a different language to me. I've heard of The Boys. That's about the only thing I've heard. Tyler says something kind of what I was talking about. He says, I feel like method actors are just bad at their job if they can't turn it on or off while filming. I agree. You know who's a really great actor, doesn't act anymore? Gene Hackman. That motherfucker can act. Or could act. Tophus says you need to watch The Boys. Yeah, there's a lot of shit I need to watch it. I just don't have time for. I just don't have the time. I need to reassess how much time I'm putting forth to get shit done. Like, so much of my week is consumed by various things involving a microphone that I'm starting to think that I'm getting to a point where I might crack. I'm not saying I'm going to, but that was the goal. Do so much shit that you have to throw stuff away. So I'm at that point right now. Like, what can I get out of? Tophus about me cracking. Do it on air. Chris says off topic, but was wondering if Trump was going to be calling in to give us a preview of the debate. He already did. 2 days ago. Did you miss it? What the fuck? Christian Bale is a method actor. Oh, he's spectacular. Great, great actor. I love that guy. I love it when actors are so good that they do fucking crazy shit and I don't give a fuck. Okay? Like Tom Cruise. He's a crazy dude. He's got that whole brainwashed Scientology thing. I don't give a shit. He's the best. I love Tom Cruise movies. I just saw a movie the other day that everybody loved, and this is proof positive that I think I watch movies. I'm smarter than all of you when it comes to film. I think you people love movies that suck so much dick. And oftentimes I give opinions on film, and then people like, no, you asshole. And I rarely watch movies. But when I do see movies, I like to talk about them. And I did watch a movie last weekend. And I had high level of expectation going in. Because the last movie I saw with Adam Sandler, I was like, wow. And that was Uncut Gems. And I love that movie. So when I saw he made a movie called Hustle, about him being a NBA basketball scout. Not exactly a funny role at all. I go, I'm going to love this. And everybody's been talking about this goddamn movie Hustle. What an absolute pile of dog shit. So bad. Horrible characters, horrible, silly, ridiculous plot. Stupid. Predictable. It was like a campier version, if that's possible, of Rocky. And so I'm 2/3 through it, and I can see it all coming together now. And I, for the first time, hit bounce forward 10 seconds, and then 10 more seconds, and then oh fuck, oh shit, oh boy. And this movie, Hustle, has a 93% approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes. And I'm never trusting that again. That movie was a pile of shit. Do not waste your time on the movie Hustle. It sucked so much dick. Stanley Sugarman is the character that Adam Sandler plays, who is an NBA basketball scout. And I mean, if I sat down and wrote a not spoiler plot review, I could do that, but I can't off the top of my head. I'll just tell you, it sucked dick. Okay? And it kind of sucked me in, and then it started to suck dick. A real harsh amount of dick sucking on that film. Aram makes a great point. Eric prefers to watch Christopher Nolan movies that he does not understand. That's true. There's a lot of great Christopher Nolan movies that I like that I have not understood. Tenet, dude, if anybody says, oh, I love Tenet, yeah, I know exactly what it was about, they're a liar. That one in particular, I was like, what the fuck, man? It's a toss-up. Christopher Nolan movies are great. Oppenheimer was fantastic. I love that movie. It's pretty long, though. I've talked about this before. Favorite directors. There'd be a toss-up between Nolan, Scorsese, Kubrick, Tarantino. It's got to be more than that. The Coen brothers. Oh, my God. So fantastic. There might be a few more in there, too. Skip Hustle. That film sucks shit. It's a horrible movie. You guys are funny today. Kenny adds, Eric's face after he first saw images of the Hawk Tuah girl was the same look of confusion after he finishes a Christopher Nolan movie. Tophus says the audience and the critics score on Hustle was 93%. Let me just look it up. I don't remember, dude. Hustle, Rotten Tomatoes. You're going to make me look it up. Yeah, dude. Just what you said. 93% for the critics, 93% for the audience. I only look for the green rotten ones. You guys don't fall for this. The guy who plays the owner of the Philadelphia 76ers is so over the top. It's obvious right away that he's going to be the protagonist. And it's so embarrassingly transparent. This movie is, I think LeBron James had something to do with it. Trust me. I'll tell you what. This will be a test. You watch that movie and tell me what you think about it, knowing it's just me saying it sucked dick, with all those people saying it's great. I'll bet you don't like it. I'll bet you go, oh, God, this is getting shitty. That's what it did for me. So no spoilers. Just tell you it sucked dick. Aram with the movie tidbit. Says, I found out that Nicolas Cage is Francis Ford Coppola and Talia Shire's nephew. Kenny says Uncut Gems was horrible too, though. I liked that. There was some great tension in that. And there was an Armenian in that film, Eric Bogosian. You know, I love my Armenians. Tyler says, I liked it a lot. Adam Balboa really liked it because it definitely has major Rocky vibes. Chris says there wasn't any explosion, so EZ didn't like it. That's true. I do like some shitty movies. End of the world movies. Oh, my God. Yes. You know what's a new thing I do is I struggle watching, because I used to love, like, monster movies, like the Godzilla movies or Godzilla versus King Kong and shit like that. But invariably, there will be a time when Godzilla or King Kong's opponent will have the upper hand and is beating the shit out of either Godzilla or King Kong, and I get triggered. I can't handle it. I'm like, oh, God, no. Or any movie where a person is suffering. I struggle with that, too. If the good guy is suffering, or if a child is hurt. All right. Again, senioritis big time for your old pal EZ today. I don't know where this comes from, but Tophus writes, Godzilla versus Amanda's tits. Leave Amanda alone. She reached out to me, and she said, EZ, are we doing the Ben and Amanda show? And I'm like, no, we're not doing that. She said, why? Everybody's going to be disappointed. I go, I know, but I didn't do anything to set it up. And it's just a matter of hours left in the day. I'm sorry about that, because I did talk about it, and then I did nothing to make it happen. That is my fault, not yours. I'm so sorry. And I don't even want to say I'll make it up to you, because I don't know that I'll even do that. I find myself on a day-to-day basis with just too much to do. All right, I'm moving on now. I want to tell you about the story about, and this isn't really something I would talk about ever. It's a college baseball coach. So there's this guy, his name is Jim Schlossnagel. And this year he coached the Texas A&M Aggies baseball team. And they went to the College World Series in Omaha. There was a post-game press conference when his team lost on Monday of this week, 6-5. All right, and I think that was it. I think Texas A&M was out, like they had just lost. And so he's, licking his wounds. The team has lost the game. Jim Schlossnagel is up to the podium for the press conference. Now, right at about that same time, another baseball program in the state of Texas, the University of Texas Longhorns, announced that they were parting ways with their baseball coach. Thus, a new job was opening up. And so while Schlossnagel is talking about the loss, someone says, hey, coach, breaking news, the Texas job just opened up. Is there anything going on that could have you possibly being the coach of Texas? Now, I'm guessing that the reporter had a tip that was going to happen. Whether it's right or not, we don't know at this point. But the reporter throws it out there. And Schlossnagel bites his head off. He says, look, I took the job at Texas A&M to never take another job again. And that hasn't changed in my mind. That's unfair to talk about something like that. I gave up a big part of my life to take this job at Texas A&M. I've poured every ounce of my soul in this job, and I've given this job every single ounce I could possibly give it. So write that. The next day, he took the job at Texas. You fucking idiot. You can't crucify this guy and deny it and then come back and take the goddamn job. And when you say, oh, yeah, I've been giving my all to this job. Well, obviously you haven't been, because you negotiated a goddamn deal while your team was in the World Series, you fucking moron. So he rips that goddamn reporter a new asshole. Says, oh, no, man, I'm an Aggies fan. That's unfair. I can't believe he'd even ask that. I give my heart and soul to the Aggies. Next, 12 hours later, go long, hook 'em horns, yeah. My God. The reporter's name is, oddly enough, Richard Zane. Dick Zane, as I have been known to be called every now and again. He runs a website called TexAgs.com. Schlossnagel. Okay, so he comes out swinging Monday night. Tuesday takes the job with Texas after denying it. Wednesday, he apologizes to Dick Zane. Schlossnagel said, well, yeah, he asked a question that was an obvious question. Schlossnagel said, I wish I could have answered that better. I need to jump in there. I wish I could have answered that better. That needs to say, I chose to be a dick. I wish I could have answered that better. See, right there, in starting this apology, you can't start with, I wish I could have answered that better. You need to say what actually happened. I chose to be a jerk. He continues, but in the moment, all 30 minutes after the last pitch, this is his excuse. I wish I could have answered it better, but it was 30 minutes after the last pitch. All I could think about was our players. Really? Well, you had already worked out a deal with Texas. Are you telling me that right after the final pitch, it was then that you worked out the terms of the deal with another school to leave one job and go to another? That's bullshit. All I could think about was our players, and I really wasn't in the mood to talk about myself for the future. Okay, idiot. Maybe you should have said that. You should have said, yeah, I only want to talk about today's game. That's all you had to say. Yeah, I only want to talk about today's game. Leave it at that. You don't need to say anything else. You don't need to rip the guy a new asshole. You don't need to lie to their fucking faces. My God. There's more to it. I'll link it up, but I don't want to get into it. It's boring. It gets to be too in-depth and I can't handle it. But I thought that was spectacular. What an about face. BDZ, Big Dick Zane. Chris says, I love it when college football coaches do this. Again, you just gotta like answer. You just gotta think if someone asks you something like that and just think and say, yeah, I know, I'm gonna sidestep that one. Talk about the players. I don't know. That's why I love Dan Campbell so much. You just tell him, ask him straight up, whatever. He's not gonna get pissed off. Dan Campbell is an emotionally deep man. A lot of people call him a fucking cement head or a meathead. I disagree with that. Chris K says, you could have answered better. LOL. Not, I wish I would have. That's gutless, in my opinion. It's a shitty way to answer that question. All right. Before we continue, I would like to say hello to my friends at the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. Their motto is, buy now, refinance later. Buy now, refinance later. 231-332-6505. They got a great team over there. 231-332-6505. Get into your mortgage today. Okay, Mario, we're going to go with the 30-year fixed, 5.95%. Finance $310,000. That's what Jackie and Justin just did, by the way. All right, 3 years later, a 15-year fixed is 2.65. Mario, we want to take the remainder of that balance and do the 15-year fixed at that rate. Okay, it turns out that it's so much lower of a rate that your 15-year fixed is the same price as your 30-year fixed. You're saving yourself hundreds of thousands of dollars in interest charges. I actually did this right before the interest rates went up with Mario, and it was fantastic. I'm lucky, but as the podcast grew, I was like, I'm going to get out of the 30-year fix and get into a 15, and lowered the rate, got into the 15. The rate was, I think, $80 more a month on 15-year loan than the 30-year fixed, and I did just that. Saved, well, I think it was $300,000 on the term of the loan in interest on this house. With the 15-year fixed, it was about $86,000. So you can do the math. Mario can help you with all this shit. Just say, give me the easy special, 231-332-6505. Get out of paying rent and get into your home today. I swear to God, I'm going to visit King's Room Barbershop today. I cannot take this hair. It's out of control. 3 locations, Caledonia, Northland Drive, and 821 36th Street in beautiful Wyoming, Michigan. July 8th to the 13th is the 50-year anniversary of King's Room Barbershop. All right? So 1974, July of 1974, King's Room Barbershop opened up. The guy who owned it at the time, I forget his name, his daughter's still around today. He ended up taking Andy Skyver under his wing, who is the owner now. And as time passed and the boss decided to hang it up, he sold the franchise to Andy. So they're honoring 50 years of King's Room Barbershop the week of July 8th to the 13th. So go there during that week, get a haircut. It's normally $19. You spin the wheel of years, whatever year it lands on, that's what you pay, what they charged at King's Room for that year. So that's cool. You can also win tons of prizes, and everybody who gets a haircut between 8 and 13 of July is in the running for a flat screen TV. Dudes and chicks who like short hair get their hair cut at King's Room Barbershop. Rick from TC Paintball is an absolute legend. I wonder what the fuck he's doing today. It's been way too long since I've talked to his ass. You remember the last time we had him on and he was doing like those Seinfeld observations? You remember that? What's the deal with cars' headlights going out when the turn signals come on? Sounded like double wrapped bread.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail.
Fuck. I'm going to talk to somebody. Just want to chit chat. Radio voice Linda's not going to be happy with this if this guy picks up. She's still mad at Stu about yelling at the dog. Does nobody want to talk to me? Are you fucking kidding me? Okay. I'll make one more attempt. Bill Simonson. Sometimes I like to catch up with these people. And obviously nobody wants to fucking talk to me. I've started a grassroots campaign to try to get Bill's son, Ace, to play football at Ohio State. Being that he is the biggest...
Hey, thanks for calling. This is Bill. I'm not here. Leave your name and number. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Appreciate it. Have a great day.
Hey, Bill, it's Eric. I'm on the podcast live. I'm talking about how I'm starting a grassroots campaign to make Ace Simonson an Ohio State Buckeye. I figured that would really, really throw you for a loop, being that you're such a Michigan slappy. So anyway, my fingers are crossed that Ace has I just want Ace to have an amazing year because I want him to be successful, and he will. But I want him to be so successful that he's like a 5-star recruit at Ohio State, making millions of dollars, and you wearing Buckeye gear. Oh my God. You should have me on your show to start this campaign with the huge show audience. Okay. Thank you. Have a great day. And thank you, as always, for supporting your old pal, EZ. God bless Bill Simonson and the huge show. Oh, and congrats on the ratings. I saw your ratings were outstanding. Good job. Ratings don't mean shit. Ratings do not matter anymore. The only thing that matters now is dollars and cents. You can have great ratings. Nobody cares. All right. So there's a dude in northern Michigan who there's this area. It's a national park called the Sleeping Bear Sand Dunes. And the Department of Natural Resources, they have a setup where as the Sleeping Bear Sand Dunes go, there's the Platte River right there, and it goes into Lake Michigan. So you have to follow along the Platte in between the dune and more sand to get you out in the lake to go fishing. Well, some fucking moron was taking his boat out, and he noticed that a bunch of kids, like teenagers, were doing some deal where they were like taking shovels and digging out the sand to divert the river to right into the lake so that you wouldn't have to go down the Platte River this long ways. You could just go right into the lake. It cuts out a lot of time. And so the kids were doing that. And he's like, yeah, that's a great idea. I get my fucking boat out there faster. The dumb son of a bitch, he ends up docking his boat, and he gets a shovel to go help the kids. Okay? But they're gone. So he's like, well, they started it. Might as well finish it. He starts digging. Well, with a goddamn shovel and with rocks, he actually diverts the flow of the river and destroys this. And they had it set up because there was a reason for it. DNR, they always do something with the ecosystem in mind. It was set up to provide water, which allows whatever dune grass to grow or wild. There's a reason for it. The point is, if the DNR puts their hands on it, you don't fuck with it. Anybody in Michigan knows that. I don't even hunt and fish. But when it comes to, shit that the DNR regulates, the wildlife populations, the trees, anything, you do not fuck with it. The DNR has more power than cops, especially in Michigan. Michigan is covered by forest by about 60% of it. Hang on a second. I'll come back to that story. Eric Zane Show podcast. Who's this?
This is one of your best vendors, I think.
Well, that's true.
All right.
What the?
Are we live right now?
Yeah, I'm calling you live just because I miss you. God damn it.
And the feeling's mutual, Eric Zane.
You're like one of my favorite people in the world to talk to. So, I mean,
like you say that to a lot of people.
Well, that's true. I do say it to a lot of people. I have a lot of people that I really enjoy the dialogue with, and you are one of them.
Well, like I said, the feeling is mutual.
Rick, are you going to watch the debate tonight?
Nah, it wasn't even on my radar. Nah, I'm too busy for that bullshit.
Yeah, but it's going to be a shit show.
Oh, it's definitely going to be a shit show, but I'll see the highlights. There'll be highlights of it tomorrow for sure.
I'm excited about it. Let's see. We were just talking about, last time you were on, you were doing the hot take about headlights going off when the turn signals go on.
Oh, yeah.
I had never noticed that, and now I do. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I had a little bit of a road rage incident since then.
Oh, no. Tell me about it.
So I was I was right by the Granville Mall there. I wanted to turn into Home Depot. And I was coming home. It was late in the afternoon. It was one of the really hot days. And I was irritated with traffic like I always am. And I'm in the left turn lane turning into Home Depot right by Best Buy right there.
Yeah.
I'm probably 6-8 cars back from being able to go through. I'm waiting in line. So when the light turns green for us, the left arrow, there's a delay. And you can imagine what the delay was. The delay was people being on their phone and not paying attention to what the hell's going on next, right?
Yeah.
So everybody should have made that light, and only about half of us made that light.
Okay.
Two people that were having too much gap in between their car in the front and the car in front of them. Now, they don't need to be on the bumper of them, but I mean, acknowledge that the car in front of you moved. Don't take a lot of time, and now you move, and then everybody gets through the light, right?
Typically, yes.
So I didn't make it through, and I'm pissed about it. I'm like, God damn it. Idiots on their phone, slowing everybody else down, not giving a shit about anybody's time with their own. So then we go through a whole nother cycle, and that's kind of a long light. So I'm sitting there getting hot. So it's kind of a long light, and it turns green again, and 2 cars in front of me, neither one of them move. And then the first one starts to move, and the second one just sits there. And damn it. So I lean on my horn, not just a quick.
Okay.
But I on it, right?
Okay.
So, and for a long period of time. So then the 2 16-year-old girls that are in the car look up and they're turning around, and all of a sudden they get real ugly with me and shit, and they hit the brakes so they don't go around the corner at all. They're sitting there.
Oh, they're going to punish you.
They're going to punish me now, right? And I'm like, motherfucker, I am not in the mood for this. So I go around them in the middle of the road. I go around them in kind of up by where Best Buy and that little swimming school is and shit.
Yeah.
And they follow me. They follow me into the Home Depot parking lot, and I'm just looking to park. So they're following me up and down the aisles now. And I'm like, okay, let's see what they want, right?
Yeah.
So they're stopped behind me. I throw it in reverse, and I back up next to them. And as I back up next to them, I purposely got really close to their side view mirror.
Oh, yeah.
So I back up, and the first thing out of the chick's mouth in the passenger seat was, "What are you, 50?" And I'm like, well, actually, I am 50.
What are you, 50? Jesus Christ. Oh, no. Oh, that's rough, because it starts out, they think that's an insult. And you're like, well, yeah, I am. God damn it.
I wish they would have said 40, because then it would have been a compliment, right?
Yes.
So she's like, what are you, 50? And then she's like, are you kidding me with your truck? And I'm like, I didn't hit you. And this chick has just got way too long eyelashes. And mind you, the driver of the car isn't saying a word. She's just looking at me. But this one in the passenger seat, her eyelashes are just going crazy, and her hand motions and her finger gestures, she's all over the road. And I'm looking at her like, this argument, no one's going to win this argument, right? So I'm like, well, she's mad, I'm mad. I'm like, I'm just done with it. I'm like, all right, I don't have time for this. So I throw it back into drive. I start to pull away. She reaches out and bang with an open hand, bangs on the side of my truck bed a couple times. I'm driving by, and I go park, and I get out of my truck, and I go inside to Home Depot, look for what I'm looking for. Someone in Home Depot pissed me off because I was already hot. And I was like, hey, can you help me find, I can't even remember what I was looking for, but I was like, hey, can you help me find this? And he's like, no, you got to find somebody with a radio. And he's wearing a Home Depot shirt. And I'm like, excuse me? He goes, you got to find somebody with a radio. I can't help you. I go, you work here, right? He's like, yeah. I go, okay, never mind. And I had like something else in my hand I was going to pick up, and I set it on whatever box I was standing to, and I walk out of the store. I'm like,
oh, yeah.
I'm irritated. I'm pissed. I'm hot. I'm just going to get out of here. I'll do my shopping later. So I go back outside, and this car is still sitting in the parking lot. The 2 girls are in it, and I'm like, and they're looking at their phones, right? So I'm like, okay, they either called their dad, they called their boyfriend, or they called the cops. They called somebody.
Yeah.
Or maybe right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, so what's going to happen here? And I walk out to my truck and jump in my truck and don't pull away fast. Don't do anything weird. I just pull away. And then there's no nothing, right? They don't follow me. I think they watch me, but what? So fast forward a week.
Oh, yes.
Fast forward a week. So the next week, I'm doing some shit or whatever. My wife was working at home that day, so I leave her at home, and then I go to work and go about my day. So my wife's calling me, and she's like, "Do you know why the cops are looking for you?"
Oh, no.
She's like, the Wyoming police were just here looking for you. And I'm like, oh, okay. Or maybe it was Granville police. I guess I didn't even find out.
Okay.
So I'm like, well, give him my number. I mean, I'll talk about the situation. No big deal. I didn't do anything wrong. So the dude calls me, and he's like, yeah, this chick says that you hit her car, that you got a purple scrape on your car. You hit her in the parking lot, and you were belligerent. And I'm like, look, I was pissed for sure. But the problem was they wanted to punish me for honking at them because they weren't going through the intersection fast enough. That's the bottom line. And I said, if you want to ask questions, why don't you ask them why they followed me into Home Depot parking lot? Like, why did they follow me? Were they trying to get a reaction out of me? Were they trying to start something? Like, I had pulled away from them at that time. They followed me. So, I mean, you can come. I told them, I said, I'm on my way to work right now. You can come look at my truck if you want. I'll tell you where I am and come look at it. I'll send you pictures and a video if you want. I said, there's no truck. I didn't hit them. I pulled up really close to them, but I didn't hit them. So I think the cop kind of said, well, this is a he said, she said. So, there's nothing real you can really do about it.
Right. So that's probably where it ends. You should get a dash cam. I think that would be, you could always vindicate yourself with a dash cam. Those things are awesome.
Oh, yeah. Talk about content. Are you kidding me?
Oh.
I would spend a lot of time editing and putting that out there on a YouTube channel that doesn't yet exist.
Right on, dude. I totally understand that. I mean, everybody who hasn't been in that spot where they're just so goddamn pissed off. Traffic does that to people. Once they get behind the wheel, man, people, it's a different world, And
it's like we're all in our own little sealed off universe in there. So you adopt these tendencies and these habits, and you really don't think there's any recourse to it because nobody's ever telling you right or wrong. Nobody's ever telling you shouldn't do that unless you hear you see a middle finger or a thumb down or hear a honk, and then you're finally like, oh, that pissed somebody off. And I try to be aware. Now, I'm not a saint on the road. I piss people off, I'm sure, but I try to be aware of who's behind me, if I'm slowing anybody else down, and get the hell out of the way if I'm not going fast enough. I try to be aware of that shit. I'm not perfect, but I try to be aware of it. But I wish more people would just be more aware of it.
Chris in the chat says, yeah, if you're going to be a Karen, you might as well have a dash cam.
Yeah, hell yeah. I mean, I'm okay with that. I'm absolutely okay with that. I'll be, my wife tells me all the time that I'm not the police and it's not my job to educate these people. But I mean, whose is it then? Nobody else is doing it.
When Mrs. Rick, that's Crystal, yes?
Yes.
When she gets frustrated with Rick, does she go, Rick? Or does she go, Richard?
I get a Rick sometimes.
You sometimes get a Richard?
I do sometimes get a Richard. I get a Rick, or I get an eye roll. The silent eye roll might be worst of all of them, because then you're like, all right, she didn't even care to say anything. You know what I mean? She just wants me to go away at this point.
What about middle name usage? Do you ever get middle name usage from her?
When we were first together, going back, 16 years ago now, I got the middle name a lot more than I get it now. Sometimes if the kids are around, I'll get a dad, Like, don't do or say that in front of the kids. So I do get that sometimes. I try to be aware, but I mean, I got a shitty mouth. So I mean, that filters out sometimes.
I get a Eric Bernard every now and then. Eric Bernard. I'm like, uh-oh.
Bernard?
Oh, yeah, that's my middle name.
I didn't know that. Why is that just coming out now?
Yeah, I don't know why. It should. I've talked about it in the past, but my grandpa is Bernard, and he was a fucking egomaniac because his. Remember, like when George Foreman named all his kids George and Georgina?
Yeah. How great is that?
That's what my grandpa did. He named his son Bernard, and his daughter Bernadine, and I got his middle name. Because he died 2 months before I was born, so they gave that to me. So I'm a Bernard.
Okay, I didn't know that. If you would have given me, time to guess your middle name, it would have been a long time before I came across that one.
Oh yeah, I got the shit kicked out of me over that. Bernard. Bernard? Oh, yes, Bernard. Fuck you.
Yes.
All right. So I was talking with the Mexicans. They want to get some paintball action in. So we definitely got to get that done.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to do it in July, though. I think there's a few other things going on. So we just got back from Atlantic City, New Jersey. Went there for an NXL paintball event, and I didn't go to play. I went to coach my son's team. They were registered for 2 different divisions. There's a youth 5-man event, and then there's also a Division 5 5-man. All the skill levels are ranked by a division, then D5 being the lowest one. So they were registered for both youth 5-man and D5 5-man. They took second in youth 5-man to a really good team that was kind of like built to be a super team with a bunch of studs from other teams on it. They took second to them. So then the next day they played D5 5-man, which you would assume to be a little bit better competition with, grown ass men and stuff that they're playing against and not just the youths. Well, they squeaked into finals as the number 60. They took the top 6 to finals. They squeaked into finals, and then we just got on a tear, and they won the fucking event.
They did?
Yeah, they are D5 Atlantic City 2024 champions.
So your kid is your kid the youngest one on the team?
He's not the youngest one. No, he's one of the tallest, honestly, but he's not even one of the oldest ones. But he's one of the key kids on the team. There was 6 of them that played in that event, and they won.
That's awesome. Did you buy him a hooker?
Yeah. I didn't think of that. I didn't think of that as far as a celebration, but I appreciate your input.
Rick, you're a legend. I can't wait to see you again.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll try to put some dates down. This is a busy time of year for me, but I'll try to get some dates down, and we'll go back and forth and figure one out. I know some of those guys are chopping at the bit. Gabe and Gabe Jr. and a couple of the other guys showed up a few weeks ago. In fact, I think it was when they were prepping for Atlantic City. Those guys were there at the field playing. So it's good to see those guys, whether you're in tow or not. It's just good to have them around.
All right, brother. I love you. Thank you.
Talk to you soon.
Okay, see ya. There you go. That's Rick from TC Paintball. How about that story? Or road rage. I've been there. I know what that's like, man. I haven't had that problem anytime recently. I'm the guy that gets yelled at. I'm the one, let's say I'm those girls. I don't do a good job getting to the light. I get honked at, and then I interact with Rick. If Rick comes up to me, I'm the cop who's going to diffuse. I'm like, I suck. I'm so sorry. You're right. I got to do better. And then it ends there. But I'm much wiser than the average driver. I'm a calm individual. Most of you are horrible human beings like Rick there, hotheads. And, you're dangerous, frankly. I am the one that I will take that bullet from you psychopaths. I will be the punching bag. I will diffuse. I'm really good at that. Like when I'm cruising at 60 miles an hour in a 75, just enjoying the ride. And I've got a whole lane to my left where I can be passed, and people still ride my bumper. I want one of those stickers that say, the closer you are, the slower I go. So that I got that trick. So let's say I'm doing 60 and there's a person right behind me. They're way too close. I hit the cruise control -1 once. So now I'm 59. And then 58. And then 57. And then if that doesn't work, you can always just turn on the windshield wipers. They're so close, it's going to get their windshield wet. So then you see their wipers go on. It's fucking great. Meanwhile, I'm oblivious. I don't know what the fuck's going on. And they whip around me and pass me and cut me off. Fuck you. I usually don't do 60 when I'm in an automobile. But if I'm in the RV, then I am going to do 60. Like I'm doing 60 miles an hour all the way to Maine. And Pooh Bear's like, why can't we go fast? I go, well, because I'm on vacation. I don't give a fuck. We just got it on cruise control. There's 20 car lengths ahead of me. We are in no danger. It's fantastic. You can watch a goddamn movie. You can watch 5 movies. You can go to sleep. You can get drunk. You can make a pizza. You can play with the dog. All you got to do is enjoy the ride. That's a great song by the Grateful Dead. That's a lyric. Going to hell in a bucket. At least I'm enjoying the ride. At least I'm enjoying the ride. At least I'm enjoying the ride. Jimmy says, can you shoot paintballs at them? Piano Finger Banger says, hold up. This was all because they, quote, went too slow through an intersection. So Piano Finger Banger is calling Rick out. Rick says, yes, basically. I was mad when they were going slow. I think you feel dumb now, don't you? That's what it is, Rick. You feel dumb with him going, well, hold up. You got this mad over that? He thinks you're a hothead. That's what he's saying. I was incensed when they stopped in the middle of the intersection. At that point, the gloves come off. He says, nope, I don't feel dumb. You know, when your emotions get the best of you, you always feel dumb. I've done that. Tofus says, fuck that. I'd be irate too. What are you, 50? Yeah. Tofus says, waiting at 2 red lights that are too long. Fuck that noise. I love that. Fuck that noise. We got to bring that back. Jimmy, with this suggestion, keep a can of wasp spray in your car when they roll down the window and bang. Yeah, I don't know. That's a horrible idea. Chris says, hey, Rick, I cannot wait until football season. Those chats are the best. Yeah, we are 1 month from today, friends. They open up training camp July 27. Tofus about Jimmy spraying wasp spray into the other motorist's car. That's literally assault. All right. Rick brings us the asshole of the day, which I will be announcing shortly. Do you have a suggestion for asshole of the day? Wait a minute. I never finished the story first. Let me finish the story. It might be this guy. So anyway, the guy goes and he diverts the Platte River. Nick, by the way, says he probably improved it. Everything the DNR touches turns to shit. Well, whatever. All right, maybe. But they're still in charge. It's their fucking football field and their ball. This guy says, yeah, I'm going to finish the job that the kids started up. I'm going to do it. So he did. Like, he moved so much sand that the river stopped flowing where it was and was going now into Lake Michigan much sooner. So he's absolutely diverted the path of the river. Well, he was caught on video doing that. And he was busted. Now, this happened in like 2022. But he was just sentenced. All right. He owes restitution to the National Park Service and the U.S. Coast Guard. He owes the U.S. Coast Guard, I don't know why, but $3,947 in court proceedings. And he has to pay the National Park Service $22,472 to fix what he had done. He's banned from entering Sleeping Bear Dunes during the 5-year probationary period, and he cannot go on any other national park property during that time. He's been stripped of his state hunting privileges. And he's a hunter, and he may not possess a firearm for 2 years. The asshole says he's going to appeal his conviction. By the way, O'Neill's having a dream. We might hear some fireworks here. Video was taken by witnesses, showed a group of teenagers digging out the trench earlier in the day before Howard arrived to join in. The dude was convicted on misdemeanor tampering and vandalism charges, which did not require prosecutors to prove that he had started the diversion. So basically, he finished the job that the kids started, that the teenagers started. He says, well, the river was already diverted before I got there. I'm just a scapegoat. Just the fact that I was there meant they could blame the entire event on me. No, dumb fuck. All right, if they could catch the fucking other idiots, they'd be in trouble too. You happen to be caught, so shut the fuck up. The U.S. attorney for that area, Mark Totten, accused Howard of acting inappropriately on a policy dispute with the National Park Service over its decision to cease dredging of the river mouth. And they did that for ecosystem purposes. While Mr. Howard had the right to disagree and advocate for his position, he did not have the right to take the law into his own hands and force his favored result. The Park Service claims the diversion harmed the river ecosystem by reducing water in upstream wetlands when its channel was deepened by the cut in a long sandy spit which had built up in a multi-year effort to naturalize the river mouth. This fucking idiot fucked everything up. So that's fantastic. He ruins the work, gets busted for it, and says, yeah, but what about the kids? Yeah, asshole, we would have busted them if we could have. He says, yeah, I just finished the job. It was already diverted. What an idiot. Who's the grown adult who like sees kids doing it and decides to join in and do? He knew full well what the fuck he was doing. He was just too stupid to not get caught. It sounds like something Rick would do. Because, of course, the way he described his performance, his temperament with young people, I would expect Rick to have done the same thing. Here's some of the snapshot proof of what happened. This is him getting yelled at. That's the guy. That's the DNR officer. Okay, now you see where it was. This spot right here. This river between the actual treed area with the dune and that sand, this river flowed upstream. Well, he went and dug it out this way for some reason and fucked the whole thing up. Look, they've got aerial views of what it looked like and how much damage this fucking moron did. Way to go, idiot. What a dumbass. 5 years in prison and $200,000, Tophus says. I don't know about that. All right. I just wanted to get that in. I'm sitting on that story. I didn't even have a place for it, but I figured that would work. Okay. Asshole of the day and hero of the day will be announced in moments. If you have any suggestions for both of those, by all means. Before we wrap up, though, hello as always to Berlin Raceway. Tickets for this weekend's races at berlinraceway.com. They cost $14 when you buy them online, $18 at the gate. berlinraceway.com. Parking is free. 15 and under free. How about that? Not to mention, you can bring in a cooler with all of your snacks and soft drinks. No glass, please. No alcohol, please. You can buy as much alcohol as you want when you're in there. Actually, affordably priced, too. They don't rape you like they do at Van Andel for a beer. All right. Thank you so much to BerlinRaceway.com for being part of the show. Hire Easy on Cameo, cameo.com/Eric Zane. Maybe you can hire me to talk about my excitement for the hot new show on 95.7 coming after Freeburn Hot Wings get back from vacation. Girl Date with Kelly and Mate. It's going to be a good one. Excited about that. Hopefully I'll hear from my pal Kelly Cheese. I know she loves me. Asshole of the day today. Brought to you by TC Paintball. What are we going to do on Asshole of the Day? Fucking Greg diverting a river again. I don't know. No, I don't know if that's going to work. Hero of the day. Patrick says Rick for his comeback appearance. Chris says hero of the day, Rick. All right, I'm going to agree with that. Rick is the hero of the day, but he's also the asshole of the day. How you like that, M. Night Shyamalan plot twist? He's got to be the asshole of the day. What kind of a sick son of a bitch acts like that at a traffic light and then engages children? He goes and pulls his car up way closer than it should, gets the cops called on him. What a piece of shit. And a hero, too, God damn it. Because we all would have done the same thing. Ladies and gentlemen, that is my time. As always, you've been a fantastic audience. I appreciate you so much. Follow me on Patreon. I've got the Patreon podcast coming up a little bit later on. patreon.com/Eric Zane. Until next time, folks, you won't have a free podcast, fresh show from me until Monday, the 8th of July. I will have Not the Best of the Eric Zane Show podcast on the free platform for you to listen to. Those are old Patreon shows that have not been heard before on the Patreon or on the free platform. And then on Patreon, I will have something to listen to while I'm away. You know what I mean? Okay, for Darla, Bruce, O'Neill, Benny the One-Eyed Wonder Dog, the NFK, Pooh Bear, and all of you, have a good one. Talk to you with some adventures from Maine, hopefully, when I come back. Thanks, folks. Bye-bye.